Hi guys, my name's Brad and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be sharpening this lawn mower blade. Now ignore the fact that it's obviously bent. This one's now being used for demonstration purposes only. You couldn't then bend this one back and reuse it because it would always bend back to this shape basically once it starts to spin around. So it's basically dud now and no good. What you need is a file and a vise. That's pretty much it. What we're going to be doing is putting the blade in the vise. So you can do it two ways. You can do it upside or down depending on which way you'd like to work. But we're going to be working on this side of the blade. So you can see if you look closely all the little nicks along the surface of the blade. So that's obviously affecting our quality of cut. What's also going to be affecting the quality of the cut is we've lost this 90-degree angle. So actually, without doing quite a severe grind, which we might need to use a grinder on, this blade is probably not going to be as effective as it was when it was first installed. But what we can do is we can put a nice sharp edge back on it and we can try and get as much of that 90-degree angle back as possible to ensure that we get a nice efficient cut. Just for information purposes, if you don't have that 90-degree angle on the corner of a blade, so you can see if I put this file against it, that corner's missing, you lose about 5 to 10% fuel efficiency or battery efficiency on a machine, so it's important to know that. All we're going to do is work in one direction towards the blade edge, filing away any sort of damage or cracks in it. We're going to be working down the slope as opposed to the flat bit. You can do a little bit on the flat, but if I actually look down the length of this blade, there's not actually much which overhangs this side, so it's all pretty much going to be worked up this way. Like I say, you can flip it the other way around and work down, but I just find it a little bit easier this way. So all we're going to do is go along like this, sharpening that edge back up. You can see it's starting to get shiny. The fact the handles fell off. Like I say, you can do this with a grinder as well. It's obviously a lot quicker, but it tends to be a little bit more erratic, so obviously you might take off more than you actually want to, whereas if you've got time and a file, you'll do more of a precision job. So you can already see that we've actually started to make some good progress on that, and it's basically more of the same, but ensuring that you do an even line across the entire blade, because what you don't want to happen is you have a nick missing here where you've grounded it down and the blade's going to become unbalanced. So what would then happen if you don't take the same amount off the other side as well, or thereabout, you'll start to notice vibration and wobble when using the machine. So that's something important to consider. But basically carry on doing that. I'm not going to show you all of it because obviously it's going to take quite a bit of time to file this down, but that is the process. Try and make sure that you keep that 90-degree in the end of the blade. Regular sharpening, people don't do it, very important. There will be a point where you decide that the blade is actually too worn out. Usually this is when you start to get a bit of an indent. Obviously here we've still got quite a relative flat line, but if you get to a point of, you've got like 20 mil missing, it's time to replace the blade. It's not going to be cutting efficiently even if you've got a sharp edge. It's the same issue you're going to have if you've got that 90-degree missing on the corner. So you don't want to over sharpen. Basically you want to be able to still touch it. Sharp as a butter knife is the saying. You don't want it razor sharp because it won't last 2 minutes. Bear in mind that these blades are actually formed in different ways, so the outer edges tend to be slightly more brittle than the actual blade itself, which tend to be more rigid, and how they're formed and the cooling process of the metal being formed, which means that you don't want a sharp edge because it's always just going to fall off basically. That's pretty much all from me. Carry on filing, replace when necessary. Let us know in the comment section below if you'd like any more videos like this, and please like, comment and subscribe.